The crypto markets aren't looking so good at the moment, but there is a glimmer of hope here with more and more ETFs coming to the market. It means more institutional investors are going to have their hands on crypto assets. I'm going to look at what that potentially means for all of us retail users out here that are holding these crypto assets. I'll also be looking into what is happening around Bitcoin DeFi and also a whole bunch of news stories around projects that are building in the crypto space. Let's get to it. I'm Peter, and if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, notification bell on your way in. Works the algorithm, all that stuff. So I really appreciate it if you take a moment and hit that like button, and I'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening in the crypto space. But the first news story here is this one about ProShares Trust submitting another ETF filing. Now, this one here is the CoinDesk Crypto 20 ETF. So this particular ETF here will be tracking the top 20 tokens within the ecosystem. And this doesn't include stablecoins or meme coins. So it's the ones with a lot of liquidity, a lot of users behind them as well. So I'm pretty excited about this one because anyone that is coming into the crypto space and doesn't know what to look into, these ETFs make it really easy for them to come in with a large amount of money and start getting some exposure to the cryptocurrency space. So this is a really cool thing. It was submitted on the 20th of October here, so we may still have a bit of time before this one gets past the SEC, but this is definitely another avenue for more crypto investors and especially the big financial institutions to be able to get into the crypto markets. Now, ProShares themselves, they already have a few ETFs. They had the Bitcoin ETF back in, I think it was 2021. They have Ether, Solana, and XRP all at the moment, but this one here will just give that bigger exposure to the rest of the cryptocurrency space. Now, this article here from CoinGate gives you a little bit more insight about the particular product that they're launching and about ProShares as well. So for those that don't know, here's a little bit of insight for you guys. Having launched its most popular product, Bitcoin Futures ETF, in 2021, the company keeps on adding more crypto-related investment products. The new filing indicates rising institutional interest in a diversified crypto baskets to reduce the volatility of individual assets. And that's what I was saying before. Having an index or a basket of tokens to get into really reduces the amount of risk and exposure you have to one single currency. Maybe something like Solana goes down for 10 days and absolutely tanks that particular token. And as a result, the price of it goes down. And if you're heavily exposed to that, you would lose a lot of money. So having a diversified basket will help reduce that kind of risk. So that's really, really important. If you're interested in reading the article, I'll put a link down below for you guys who can learn a little bit more about what's going on there. Now, the downside to all of this is that it is starting to centralize the access to a decentralized system here. The whole point of crypto was that we are trying to get away from the banks, away from the institutions here, and be in control of our own financial sovereignty. And giving these brokerages access with ETFs to bring in institutional funds, sure, it means potentially more money into the ecosystem in crypto in general, but could also mean that they can dump on us at any time they want. We're seeing more and more market manipulation. We can see the crypto markets being tanked dramatically after a pump or something. You know, some leader of a particular country would say something about, I don't know what it is about Bitcoin. It suddenly spikes and then you see a massive sell-off afterwards. Or you see someone shorting the market based on some news that it was about to come out. So we're seeing all this type of manipulation, and the institutions now have access to this type of volatile assets to be able to make quick money off. And that's one thing I have a massive problem with. So I know a lot of people are really excited to see all these ETFs, but I am very wary because it gives institutional investors with massive amounts of money to extract liquidity from the retail users. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Is the institutional investors a good thing for crypto space, or should it be left in the hands of retail users? Now, here is a bit of a visual to give you guys an idea of potentially what you could look into when doing your research across the top 10. Now, the top 10 here, out of them, there are 3 that have a fixed supply of assets. That means they're not printing more of those assets. It's a deflationary currency. Like fiat currencies, the US dollar, the Australian dollar, where I am, they can print more at any time they want. Remember COVID, they printed money like crazy, and it caused a massive amount of inflation. And that's what we're experiencing now. These currencies here, ADA, BTC, and XRP, they have a fixed supply, meaning that there won't be any more of these tokens in the future ever. And as we see the scarcity of it come into play into the markets, we see the price of these particular tokens go up. So when you're looking at the particular tokens that you may want to get into, this is a consideration that you might want to think about. Other tokens such as ETH from Ethereum, Sol from Solana, they don't have a fixed supply of tokens and they continuously inflate over the years. So in 20 years' time, there may be so many more of those tokens that it has devalued the worth of those particular assets. So it's something to think about here when you're looking into the tokens. So my money, my bet personally myself is into the fixed supply currencies for that deflationary aspect of them. I'll make sure I'll leave a comment down below for you guys so you know which ones have a fixed supply, but please also do your research behind that. The next topic I want to talk about here is Bitcoin DeFi. So Bitcoin is one of the assets that everyone knows about in the cryptocurrency space, but it is one of those older ones that doesn't really do anything. Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts directly, unlike Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, or the other chains out there that you can do something with those assets. You have programmable money. Bitcoin doesn't have that, but Cardano is coming into the picture here to deliver Bitcoin DeFi, decentralized finance. And this is a comment here from Brandon Wolf, who's the general manager of Lace Wallet. Lace Wallet is an absolutely brilliant wallet to use. It's a multi-chain wallet here. I'll put links down below for you guys again, so you can check it out. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but check it out. But I just want to play this so you get a bit of an insight into what's happening around the Bitcoin DeFi space.
My name is Brandon Wolf. I'm the general manager of the Lace Wallet within Input Output. Bitcoin DeFi is a very exciting opportunity that we're undertaking to unlock the massive value and power of Bitcoin by using Cardano as a computational layer. Bitcoin has been traditionally a storage of value by using...
Sorry, I just had to stop it there. Brandon's setup here is amazing. That computer setup, but not just the computer setup, but the background here. His studio is amazing. Sorry, let me just continue playing that.
Layer. Bitcoin has been traditionally a storage of value. By using a Bitcoin DeFi framework that we're putting together, it allows users to then unlock the storage value of that and put it to use for yielding, staking, lending, and borrowing. I think Bitcoin DeFi plays a lot into Charles Hoskinson's vision of how to bring the type of volume and liquidity into the Cardano ecosystem that is really going to be helpful to the end users. As a driver of the Lace Wallet, we're always focused on the end users and how users can adopt this. By bringing Bitcoin DeFi to them, we essentially move the power away from the banks who take your money, deposit it, use it for lending and borrowing, and then also take money on top of that, and we put that back into the hands of the users. It very much follows Charles's decentralized vision of the world. I have a lot of hobbies. I think one of the most surprising is that I do paramotoring, which is flying around in the sky with a 2-stroke motor on your back and a canopy over your head, and it's just you in a chair in the sky, and it's amazing. It gives me the freedom that I love. I've always been fascinated with flight, and it's a bit of a workout, but it's something that brings me a lot of happiness. Bitcoin DeFi aligns with my personal value of self-determination and the freedom of choice. Bitcoin DeFi solves a long-standing interoperability issue with a clear philosophical goal in mind, putting power back into the hands of the asset holder.
Now, I love that. Putting the power back into the hands of the asset holder. So, like I was saying before, the Bitcoin ETFs, the crypto ETFs, gives exposure to the institutional investors. Sure, there's a lot of money coming in, a lot of investment there, but it takes away that power from the retail user, our own hands. So it's interesting here to see what the team are building, and hopefully we do see more of this. I didn't get to token 2049 to see what they were doing here, but we'll see more and more of this Bitcoin layer being built on top of Cardano so that we can actually see DeFi, borrowing, lending, and all these other really cool aspects that Bitcoin holders can do on a DeFi layer. Now you think, okay, why would you want this? Why would you want Bitcoin? It's a very valuable asset. You can just hold it and eventually the value of it go up. But what if you could hold it, but then also stake it to a smart contract or lend it out potentially, maybe just a small portion of it, where you can actually earn some more revenue from it. So it unlocks that level of liquidity that you have there. Sure, you're holding on to it. Well, what are you doing with it? You're just going to hold on to it for another 10 years? If you can hold on to it, but then earn some revenue off it at the same time, you're still holding on to it. You still control your asset, but you actually can unlock that value and earn some revenue off it. So that's the whole idea of the DeFi side of things. That's why a lot of people play around with decentralized finance on all these blockchains. So you can have these assets and you can actually do something with it other than just staking it. You can put it into a borrowing lending protocol. There's so many different things, but it gives you those opportunities. And that's why this is so exciting, because there's a lot of Bitcoin holders out there that just don't know what to do with their assets. And having the Bitcoin DeFi layer on Cardano is going to do some amazing things. So do check out that video. There's more to it, but I'll put a links to all that, Lace wallet and everything else. So if you want to learn more, you can do so. This news story here I thought was really interesting, and this was from the Cardano Foundation potentially bringing in top-level domains for .ada and .cardano. So the ICANN, this is the big international body that looks after all the domain names in the world, such as .com, .org, .info, etc. All that stuff. So they open up submissions so that you can add in brand new domains such as potentially .ada or .cardano. So if you are wanting something like this is when you submit in. It costs a lot of money. It has a centralized player out there that controls and manages all these particular aspects. You need that centralized database for this. So the idea here is that the Cardano Foundation, I think this is what I think they're doing. They're trying to bridge the Web 2 space, which is the general web as we see it now, with the Web 3, the blockchain side of things, and giving users exposure to a potential domain name like this that exposes them to the crypto space is a big marketing play to try and reach retail and regular users that don't know much about blockchain. So it gives them that extra reach of marketing out there. So I thought this was a pretty interesting idea. Now, at the moment, it's being submitted as a proposal on chain for part of the governance in the Cardano ecosystem as an info action. And this is just purely to gauge interest from the community and see if there's enough support for it. If it doesn't make it past this info action, it probably won't make it to the stage where they actually put in a finalized proposal to withdraw money from the treasury to make this happen. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm not too sure if it will get through, but there is a lot of interest around it. Now, there is a bit of Web3 tech behind this as well. And the guys from Blink Labs, Chris here is the founder of Blink Labs. I do have an interview lined up with him later tonight where we're going to talk about some of the tech that is behind this to make it actually happen in a decentralized way. So Chris here, let me just read this out for you for the audio listeners. We have been working as advisors with the CF on this for months. We're excited to see this announcement, and now we can integrate it with our decentralized DNS service powered by Cardano and funded by Catalyst. It's always DNS. So this ties into something called Handshake. And if you want to learn more about the technical aspects around this, watch that interview coming up. As soon as it's released, I'll put it down in the show notes below. But you'll be able to get a better understanding of how the decentralized aspects, how it ties into Cardano, and how we could potentially have a domain name powered by blockchain all tied back into the Cardano ecosystem. So this is pretty interesting stuff. This news story here ties into AI and trading. And this is something I'm playing around with myself. I set up my own trading bot to automate some trades on the Cardano blockchain, and it's doing fairly well. It's not making me millions of ADA, but it's definitely generating a bit of revenue. And I kind of like it. But this one here, this is what Decimalist has been working on for months. And this is agentic. Yeah, you may have seen this on X. It engages automatically with a lot of users on X. But this is their AI trading bot, and they've built a dashboard that you can use. You can set up the bot and it will automatically trade based on various market conditions and its own AI algorithms. And from what I understand, it's doing really well. Now, I do have an interview lined up with Decimalist next week where he's going to go through the platform and we're going to get a better understanding of how to use it, how it works, what's under the hood, and what potential outcomes you can get from it by using the platform itself. So I'm pretty excited about that. I started in the crypto space back in 2017 and I worked with a team to build a crypto trading bot. And that was the whole idea of it. Crypto is a 24-hour thing, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So you need to be always on. And when I was trying to trade back then, it really burnt me out. Being up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. here in Australia, trying to trade against or with the markets in the US and Europe was pretty much impossible. So having some automation behind it really, really helped. And this is something I'm really excited about. So we'll see how this one goes and watch that interview as well. I think you'll learn quite a bit about the platform and probably a little bit more about AI trading as well. So really excited about that one. This is a shout out for the team at Cornucopius. They're building an absolutely amazing game. This is a tier 1 AAA game that is built on Unity 5. I think it's Unity 5. I think that's the engine. So it looks absolutely amazing, but they've gone through a massive rebrand from Cornucopius to Infinity Rising. I think that's a brilliant name change. I never really liked Cornucopius in the beginning. Not the game, the name, but Infinity Rising, I think encompasses the feel of the game and everything else around it. If you haven't seen it, I'll put links down below so you can get a bit of an idea about what Cornucopius is, but that is a really cool name change. And hopefully I can get the guys also on a podcast interview so we can get a big update about everything that's happening. But Josh, who is another Cardano content creator, he covers a lot in Infinity Rising. So I'll put links down below to his latest video that goes over the big updates that they've done. Now, over the previous weekend, there was a really big event in Barcelona. I think it was in Barcelona, somewhere in Spain. It was a new lunar event and there were a lot of people there. And one of the cool things that I saw was a brand new crypto card from Gero Wallet. So this is another card that's been put out there that will allow you to spend your crypto assets directly from the wallet. I kind of like this one from what I've seen. You can fund your desktop wallet in Gero, but then have the card so you can use it and start paying for things all over the place. They have cashback systems and all sorts of things. So it's quite a good ecosystem to play around with. I'm going to dig into that one a little bit more. And if I find something really cool, I'll start creating video tutorials for you guys. So if you haven't tried out Gero Wallet, or if you're a big fan, please let me know down below. Should I do video tutorials on it? I think it looks pretty good. And being able to have a debit card to actually spend your cryptocurrency from every now and then when you need to might be a good thing. So check that one out, guys. Now, one of the big things in crypto is stablecoins. If you don't have a large amount of stablecoin liquidity within the ecosystem, DeFi and everything else is just that little bit harder. You look at Ethereum, you look at Solana, they all have really big stablecoin ecosystems. In fact, their TVL is probably higher in stablecoins than their own tokens, and that is a really important thing. Cardano, on the other side, doesn't have a big exposure to all of these stablecoins, and for all various different reasons that we could probably dig into but never find out the truth about, we are just lacking in the attractiveness to pull in players like Tether and Circle onto the chain. So what the community has done is put together a Cardano Sovereign Wealth Fund. Now, this is pulling in treasury funds from the Cardano treasury and putting it into their own wealth fund to try and help stimulate the stablecoin DeFi ecosystem. So this is the interim Cardano Sovereign Wealth Fund Committee. There are a lot of Cardano names out there and some really good experience in the ecosystem in general, but they'll be forming the group now to try and attract more stablecoins to the ecosystem. I know a lot of the treasury withdrawal that they're going for will be used to stimulate the ecosystem in general. So they'll be minting, I think, USDM, USDA probably as well, maybe some other ones in the Cardano ecosystem, but then using that to hopefully attract more stablecoin liquidity. So good luck to the team. I'm really happy that this one passed, and we'll see how they go. I'll keep an eye on this one and I'll update you guys, but this is a really interesting experiment. We don't have the liquidity. We don't have that exposure to stablecoins. Can this be the tipping point for the ecosystem? Fingers crossed, guys. I really hope it is. A few more news stories for you guys. Now, this one's about onboarding users, and I've used a lot of platforms now across different ecosystems, and probably my favorite onboarding experience recently was on Solana, and this is earned from the superteam.fun, so earn.superteam.fun. And this is a content creation platform out there where projects will put up bounties. This bounty here, you can see is 20,000 USDC. And if you go through this particular bounty, create some, this one's a hackathon, but there's other ones where they'll ask you to create a video, do some content creation for them, and away you go. You could potentially get into that bounty and win and get that 1,000 USDC. So it's a really nice platform, but the onboarding process of it, I thought was absolutely amazing. If you're not a part of a content creator or part of the Solana ecosystem, just give this one a go. You can sign up using your email and it will just authenticate you through, create yourself a Solana wallet in the back end, and it'll be controlled on the website, but you can use those funds that you earn from the platform and send it anywhere else. So it's a really nice and smooth onboarding experience. And that only took like a few seconds to really get in there and start getting into the platform and being on chain as well. Now, this here is an equivalent experience on the Cardano blockchain. And Jingles here, he has put together a very similar experience. And I'll just open up this video so you can see what's going on here. But here we are, we're logging into the website using Connect Wallet. So tapping into sign, and he's signing in with his Discord account. So a lot of us in the crypto space, we have X accounts, we have Discord, we have Gmail, whatever it is. And using that type of authentication, in this case, a passkey, which we're all used to using in the Web2 space, to then log into a crypto platform, I think is really, really important. A lot of the times when you sign up for a brand new crypto wallet, you have to sign up for a brand new wallet, open up, download the application, you're on desktop or mobile, you have to create a brand new seed phrase, you have to save that seed phrase somewhere, keep it secure. This here allows you to do it all via an existing login and using passkeys. And passkeys are a really secure way of logging into any of the platforms. So I thought this was absolutely brilliant to see. And I think this is just being built recently. So hopefully it goes out into production and we'll be able to use it ourselves in some of the websites that we built. So this is really cool tech. And in terms of onboarding users, essential. The faster, the easier, the less friction that we have there, the more chance we have to onboard users. You don't want to be at a conference and you're doing a giveaway of an NFT and you go, yeah, I'll send you the NFT from my wallet to yours. Oh, you don't have one? Great. Okay, go away for half an hour, set up your wallet, come back and I can send it to you. That is not the type of experience that you want for a new person coming into the crypto space. You just want them to come to the website, enter in that email address, which they should have, and then that will automatically onboard themselves. So that is a brilliant user experience, and I can't wait to see more of that. Now, a couple more news stories for you guys here. This is just a bit of fun, but Intersect have put out a way to create your own Claymate and mint it as an NFT. So this is build your own Claymate NFT. And you can see here, you can customize the NFT, the background, the skin, the clothing, whatever it might be. And then you can mint that on chain and have that as your PFP, your profile picture on whatever platform you're using. So these Claymates, they were minting years back. 4 years now, and they sold out a massive collection, and that was really cool. I absolutely loved that. But now you can actually mint your own, design your own, and customize it to however you like. So this is really cool. Links down below for you guys. I don't think the mint is too expensive. Let me just check it if I can find the link. You can see all these other people that have minted theirs here. No, I can't see the link at the moment, but when I find it, I'll put a link down below. I might do a little demo as well of how it actually works. But I thought that was really cool, and try it out for yourselves. If it's not too expensive and you have some spare ADA, go ahead, mint one. Otherwise, save your ADA. It's a bit of a bear market at the moment, so might be better spent elsewhere. Now, this last one here, this is just for anyone else that is wanting to have interviews on this podcast. Previously, I had an NFT gated paywall to get to the booking form. That is, you'd have to have this particular NFT, a Cardano Press Wapu, which is my NFT collection. I didn't sell too many of them, only sold about 260 or so. But that particular NFT, you need to have in your wallet, then connect to that website to be able to make a booking. Now, there aren't too many people that do book interviews, but I thought it might be a good idea to put this paywall back up so that people start purchasing these NFTs again. Now, they're going for really cheap. You can see here, this one here is only 5 ADA, so roughly 5 Australian dollars, less in USD. So it's not too expensive to get that up and running, and then putting the paywall back in, and then people, if they want to come in and book an interview, sure, go ahead. I want your opinion. Should I put this back on, or should I just make it frictionless and just go to the form? I've got to think of ways to actually try and generate some revenue and give some value back to these holders of these NFTs. So if I could open that up again, maybe the price will increase. Not too sure. I'm not the biggest NFT collection type of guy. Managing these NFT collections and being the owner of them is fairly new to me still. So love your opinion, guys. I'd love to crowdsource some ideas. Let me know in the comments down below. If you do want to get one, you can get one at JPEG Store. Like I said, this one sold for really cheap, but the floor price for other ones are a little bit higher. But from time to time, you can get one for dirt cheap. Now, that's it for this particular podcast update. Thank you guys for watching to the end here, and thank you so much for the support. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please do. And if you want to be a really big supporter, you can also be a channel member. The channel members get early access to various bits of content. I got all these interviews backed up, and you guys as members get access to all of them first. I've also got links now to Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. So there's other platforms that you can tap into to try and support the channel as well. So anything that you guys can do, very much appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.